Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It's time for the classic blues intro for January, February, and March 2017. I've chosen the introduction to a Jimmy Rodgers tune called In the Evening. Sometimes it's called Money, Marbles, and Chalk. And regardless of what the title is, it's got a great introduction in the key of E, if you're playing a slow Jimmy Rodgers type thing in the key of E. Now the original song on Chess Records has two guitar players on it. So what I'm going to do is try to break down the intro and show you how to play it as one guitar. And if you got another guitar player, you can figure out the two parts. Let me play it for you one time. That's the introduction to the song. So the first lick, as he goes through this, he's playing something like this. And then into the song. So let me break that down. And what I did is I combined the bass guitar. You got one guy on guitar doing stuff like this. He's playing just the bass stuff. And then Jimmy Rodgers is playing the treble stuff. And so what I've done is kind of put it together. So I start out with a double stop. We're in the key of E. And I've got a E7th double stop with my first finger on the 10th fret of the first string and my ring finger on the 12th fret of the second string. And he slided into it. That's the rhythm. It's 1, 2, 3, 1. And he does a second slide, 1, 2, 3, 1, like that. And then he goes to this, which is another typical double stop in the key of E. Got my first finger on the 9th fret of the first string, second finger on the 10th fret of the second string. So it's like this. And right here is where, if you're playing as one guitar player, you got to do a little fancy work here. If you're playing with two guitar players, the treble guy holds out and then the bass takes over. So what I'm doing, if I'm playing this by myself, I'm going like this. I didn't do that very smoothly. It's kind of tough to do, but I'm going. And what I'm doing is hammering on the second fret of the 4th string, and then open 4th, and then hammering on the second fret of the 5th string, and then doing a little treble thing there, a little on and off. You play a B7th chord too, so it's. I could play a B7th chord, which the song goes to the 5. Right there. So that's the first part. One more time slowly. And then in the timing, the next lick goes like this. Something like that. There's a little part in there that I'm just not hearing, but I think I got most of it. So the second time around on the double stop, he does this. And he's doing the same thing he did last time. Sliding into that double stop on the 10th and 12th frets, first and second string. 1, 2, 3. To that double stop, and then just moves that same shape down 2 frets. Right there. So the whole thing, let's do it so far. Then he goes to these single string runs in E. So just out of a first position E chord. What I'm hearing is an open second string, and then 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. I hear that little descending pattern. So he does this. listen to it again, I might hear something different, but when I went ahead and tabbed it, if I figure it out it's something different when I put the tab up, I'll fix it. So the whole intro so far. And then he does kind of this quick little lick out of this E scale, something like this. Now Jimmy Rodgers, when he played, he had a thumb pick and a finger pick. He played country blues style, as they call it. I've just got a flat pick. So when I do that little lick, it's really easier if I use another finger in there. So he's just doing this. But I can do it with a flat pick too. In the first part of it we did open second string, 3-2 on the third string. Then he does this quick little riff, and I'm thinking he's hitting the open second string again. Back to the second fret of the third string. And then open third with a hammer on to the first fret of the third string. So open third string, hammer on the first string. So it's like this. And then the open first string. And it's really easier to get it with my second finger, third finger. And get it with the pick too. So the whole thing, the second part of the intro. And then he's doing this, just keeping an E shape, and just the open first string and the open second string. Now when Jimmy Rodgers is playing it, he's probably using the first finger and thumping the open sixth string. So if you want to play this finger style, which you can, something like that. So the whole solo so far, I'm just going to do this with the flat pick this time, or the whole introduction. Whoops, let me start that again. To the first verse. To wrap it up there, what I'm doing is going to a B7 shape and just getting the fifth string of the second fret, and then I'm doing a little alternating thing, keeping that chord shape between the second and third string. Whoops. So the whole thing. Then I'm going to drag the pick. He does this in some tunes. Just kind of almost strum the chord to keep the rhythm and get it back to the start of the verse. So let me play the whole thing one time, try to get the timing. Whoops, gotta start that again. I always forget that slide. The one to start the first sung verse. So there is a little introduction in the key of E from the tune In the Evening by Jimmy Rodgers. And again, he does these double stops. These are typical Jimmy Rodgers type stuff in E. So, and I'm combining the two guitars. I mentioned this at the beginning. There's actually two guitars working together on this tune, but if you want to play this yourself, you can just do some quick moving with the left hand and make it work. That's how I do it if I'm playing this by myself. And that part's kind of cool. That's a typical Jimmy Rodgers thing. Goes into the tune. Hope this is useful to you. If you listen to a lot of Jimmy Rodgers tunes, he's got, any time he does a song in E or F, he does something kind of like that to start it out. There's a lot of variations on that. Tabbed it out for you the best I could. I think I'm pretty close. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Any requests for classic introductions from different songs, let me know. I'm just kind of browsing through my collection of CDs and records and picking out the ones I think are kind of neat. I will see you again in a few months with another classic blues introduction.